So whenever I take Merle here out on the town, I always get asked the same three questions. Number one, how big in them tires, boy? Two, how big's your lift? And three, where'd you get this freaking sweet bumper, dude? If this is your first time here, this is Merle, my 1989 K5 Blazer. So we're going to go over how to fit 40s without a whole heck of a lot of lift today. Merle is 1-ton swapped. Got a Dana 60, 513 gears, and an ARB locker in there. Chrome ollie shafts. And we are 52-inch springs, so I took the stock springs from the rear, moved them up front on these mounts from CFM Industries. And they bump the axle forward. Well, it's a longer spring, so I have it set up so the axle's forward like about 2 inches. We've got high steer crossover, so it's way up high, above my springs, away from rocks, away from any crap down there. But to fit that, I had to do a lot of trimming, like on the factory cross member, because it was rubbing there. We have to switch to a 2-wheel drive steering box, which I rebuilt it and ported it for Hydro Boost, which we'll be adding very soon, probably sometime over the winter. We've got 14-inch travel Bilstein shocks on mounts that gusset the inner C on the axle to add a whole bunch of beef there. And I also have the tubes welded to the carrier. And then those are on hoops up into the engine bay. I'll pop that in a second. We got 7-inch shackles back there. And I mean, I'm not maxed out right now. I just kind of drove off this 4 or 5 foot tall ledge at my house. But she flexes pretty all right. You know, she gets down. She does what she needs to do. I've also got, I need to order my front drive shaft. I'm going to do that this week. But we got this little high-speed Yukon forged 1350 pinion yoke. Still what's left of the factory exhaust. That's not going to be there much longer. We're going to do headers and a full mandrel bend exhaust out the back. So there's our hoops, and our hoop on that side tucked in there. And then I've got the Borgeson solid shaft, and I replaced that bearing up in there. We're converted over to Hydro Boost, and I've got the Willwood proportioning valve there because we are disc brake in the rear, which we're going to get to now. So the rear is a 14 bolt. I've got Artec truss with the pinion slider on it. We've got 12-inch travel Bilstein shocks back here on some more rough stuff mounts that tuck it up high. These things are beefy, man. And then we just built a little cross member for the top. Got some more CFM Industries mounts to move the spring forward. And this is the kind of thing, like, I can build stuff like this, but it'll take me hours and hours, or you can spend a couple $100 and paint it and bolt it on, and it does the job just the same. It's nice and clean. It tucks up flush with the frame, and it just saves a ton of time. So where Chevy 63, 64, whatever you want to call them, springs in the back, and then off-road design shackle flip, and the heavy-duty off-road design shackles. This is, like I said, the front's pushed forward about 6 inches, the rear's pushed back about 4. Overall, it ends up moving the axle back a couple inches. So there's that truss and the Rough Stuff differential cover there. And then I also have Rough Stuff for my disc brakes, which work fantastic. Rough Stuff's local to me, so I use a lot of their stuff because I can just run down and pick it up. We're started on the rear bumper here. That should be done pretty quick here in the next couple weeks. And then for lift, front and rear, I've got these zero rate add-a-leafs that add an extra inch. So overall, this truck should only be sitting about 5 inches of lift. Not a whole heck of a lot. I'll pull it out of here. We'll do another little walk around on flat ground so you can see how it sits just sitting there. And then tires, we're on 40-inch 1350 Razor MTs, the Maxxis tires. These things work pretty good. I haven't really got to use them too terribly much off-road yet because no front drive shaft yet, but that will be remedied soon. And we're going to be doing a whole lot in the snow this year. Overall, we're only about 5 inches of lift, maybe a touch more. Typically with, 6 or 7 inch shackles, the 52s in the front, the 63, 64s in the back, and the add-a-leaf block. It's only about 5 inches of lift. Super flexy, drives great. It's a little soft on the road. I guess that kind of depends on your own personal preference. But there you go. We've got quite a bit of trimming. Partially for clearance, but these tangs hang way down here. So I cut a good 8 inches off the front of this. I just went flush with the, whatever you want to call this, valance piece, and carried that around. And then the rear, we cut there. I might need to cut that a little bit more. I probably do, but it's doing okay for now. And then the rear, I wanted super high clearance, so I cut probably a good 7-8 inches off the back too, because that hung way down to here. And between that and this axle being pushed back a couple inches, it doesn't even come close to touching anything. And then, yeah, so up next on this guy, we're going to finish the rear bumper here in the next couple weeks. I just need to finish the orange truck. That'll be gone probably next weekend. Finish welding up the sliders, and then we are on to roll caging. So that roll cage is going to tie into the rear bumper and the sliders. We're going to do a full cage down the pillars, down into here, make it nice and safe for the family. And then while we're in here, got some brackets that we made and Cadillac seats, which is fantastic. Little upgraded P&M shifter, love that. So there you go. Give her one more little walk around. So there you go. That's how I fit 40s on my Blazer. But before I go, I want to know something. You. Yeah, you. What are you working on, huh? What you building? What you got tucked away in that garage of yours? It doesn't have to be a truck either. I just want to know what you guys are building too. So with that, if you want to see more of Merle, click here. If you want to see how to build a front bumper, click here. And remember, if you don't get started, you're not ever gonna get finished. So go, work.